What's the craziest thing you've done in school without getting in trouble? I helped out in my high school's library my junior and senior year. In that time I would print out very small pictures of Nicolas Cage and place them around the school and library. By the end of senior I had placed somewhere between 200 and 300 of them. I had even made special Santa Nick cages to hide around December. It was always really funny when people and staff would be generally confused when they found them. There was someone in my high school who did this the entire time I was attending and nobody ever figured out who it was. This is what Reddit is for. I was bullied relentlessly from like grades 2 to 5 by some jackass. By the time grade 5 rolled around, the UGR card game had become the greatest thing for kids to play with since the yo-yo. In order to get the jackass to stop bullying me, I snuck into the classroom while everyone else was out for some assembly or something, went to his desk, and took every single card he had on him. To add icing to the cake, I didn't keep any of the cards. I gave the majority away to random kids after school and tossed the rest into a drain. He and his mom marched down to my house afterwards, but no proof at all. Never got into any trouble at school or home. Now being older, I've learned my lesson. By giving away the cards, I gave him a trail back to me and a possibility of salvaging some of his collection. I should have just burned them all in the woods. You could also dunk them all in a bowl of dirty water and leave it at his desk. The cards will be ruined, but still somewhat intact. He'll be forced to continue playing with shriveled up, lumpy cards or throw them away himself. It hurts my heart to just imagine one of my rare cards water damaged, let alone all of them. Another fun idea is to bend one of the really rare cards in half. Then he will know whenever he's about to draw it. Doesn't seem like a big deal at first, but soon people will stop being willing to play with him because he's cheating and he has to get rid of it on top of being shamed. I briefly locked a teacher out of their classroom because the day before she said she would lock out anyone that was late. You're a god hidden amongst us. I poured a flammable hydrophobic chemical down the drain that had standing water in it in our chemistry lab. The next group used the striker to light the Bunsen burner and the sparks lit the chemical on fire, causing us to evacuate the building for the next 2 periods. The pyro. / TF2 intro plays / 8th grade. I figured out where the social studies teacher kept the answer keys for the weekly test that was a big part of our grade. It was multiple choice. He always had a lot of random stuff written all over the chalkboard. Each Friday at lunch he'd sneak into the classroom, get the answer key, and write correct answers in a corner of the board. A BDCAEBB etc. He never noticed and was always so proud how well the class did that year. Looking back, I feel a little bad. He was a super nice guy and we even still stay in contact over 30 years later. Have you told him? This reminds me. In elementary school me and my friends all played Egyptian rat screw during lunch every day. We always used my deck of cards. On my 24th birthday I was still in touch with 2 of them. I finally told them how I always slipped myself one of the better cards for the first game each day. Their reactions were pretty good. Me and some friends used to climb up in the roof on weekends and camp out up there. I have climbed every school in my district, and I've always wanted to camp on the roof. Pissed in a bully's locker. That's terrible. You should have taken a shit while you were at it. I would have gone the extra mile and put a live skunk in his locker. Found a latched door under a desk in the back of the library. We unlocked it and found big tunnels that ran under the schools. Holy duck, I wish my school had a secret porn basement too, but jokes aside. How cool is this? Did you ever got deep into the tunnels? So one side led to a locked cage on the side of the school and the other went to the sewers. Not much to work with, but fun to skate and smoke during free period. Obviously it didn't last very long. Eventually they got wise and put a proper lock on it. Me and some friends were making a movie in high school. One of the characters were to be shot in the chest, so we took a wooden plate and taped it to the stomach of the guy. Taped a firecracker on it and put a plastic bag with pig blood in it on top of that again, then just shoved a shirt on the guy and lit the fuse. We were going to do it outside, but the lighting was so bad we decided to move it indoors. 3 tries later we got the shot along with pig blood on the walls, floor and ceiling of the school hall we were filming in. We had to clean it up eventually, but during school hours, so we just missed a class or 2, which, honestly, was a win-win. Imagine the hall monitor walking the corridors and suddenly sees blood on the walls and the floor. Off topic, but did your school have actual hall monitors? Mine didn't seem to care at all if people were wandering around the halls. This kid smashed a banana into another kid's ear and then got chased around the school for like 15 minutes. Feo what? He said the kid smashed a banana into another kid's ear and then got chased around the school for 15 minutes. And happy duck and cake day. Stole a locker door Reddit. More context. We were on the way to a rally and I noticed a broken locker, so I took it with me to the rally. It was crazy cause the whole time I walking to the gym I was like, there's no way I'm getting away with this. Walked by the principal and security with it in hand and they didn't say anything. When I brought it home I taped notes, a bus ticket from Halloween and just memories. But unfortunately I had to give it up because we were moving and we didn't have space for it. Edit 2. Thank you all for the upvotes. TL. Dr. stole a locker door. I too stole a locker door. Last day of school in grade 10 and I couldn't bear to part with my locker door that had been written on by my friends. So I brought a crowbar to school, popped the hinges off and carried it right past the front office to the bus. Not a word was said about it by the school. Just got a weird luck by my mom when she came home and saw it in her backyard. Dude, that's fire. Do you still have it today? Freshman year. Had a history teacher no one liked. Put off, kind of a creepy vibe. Would lose assignments and then say you never turned them in. We got our hands on a pretty explicit centerfold. This was pre-internet, so porn was hard to come by. I snuck into his classroom, pulled down the map, taped up the oversized nudie pic, and rolled the map back up. Next period in history we had been covering WWII. We told this other kid, Glenn, what we had done. He was always in some trouble anyway, so we told him he should ask some question that would require the teacher to pull down the map. Map comes down. Everyone gasps. Again. Pre-internet days. I know for a fact for some kids it was the first full frontal nude feed ever seen. Teacher stares for a second, rolls the map up, takes the whole map roll off the hanging mount, grabs Glenn by the arm, and off to the office they go. Glenn got in pretty big trouble but never snitched. We never got caught. I do feel bad though. Glenn had been in some trouble but this was by far the worst. He later went on to spend some time in jail. I didn't push him into a life of crime, but I certainly didn't help him avoid it either. Bro, you better call Glenn up and apologize. I played Phoenix on my calculator during a math test. We had 45 minutes and I was done in 5. So I spent the other 40 looking down at my paper and then back at my calculator. What is Phoenix? A flash game where you pilot a ship. You can shoot down enemies and collect the falling dollar sign to pay for upgraded weapons and automatic shooting. We have that one laid back teacher. He went to copy some worksheets, so me and my friend got a ton of apples that the canteen ladies gave us at the end of the break BC, otherwise they were thrown away. So we started putting them all over the room. Teacher just got back and looked completely confused. Then proceeded to collect all of them and take them home. I mean, free apples, right? When life gives you apples. Nice try, mom. Nice try, dad's mom. Grandma. One time I got 2 slices of pizza for the price of 1 from the school cafeteria. I ate both slices without telling the staff. Something similar happened to me. We have an old lady that handles lunch payments. So I bought my lunch, paid with a $10. She gives me back a $10 and some change. I guess she must have thought I paid with a $20. So I got a free lunch, plus a few bucks. I was pretty chill, but the most crazy thing I did was that I locked every bathroom door. I discovered that if you push the handle down and then you press the door latch, a button that keeps the handle shut, and then you close the door would close with the latch on and no one inside the bathroom. I remember the janitor screaming while with tools trying to open the doors, "If anyone is inside, you better open the door." Just go under the door. Or do you mean the main door? Each toilet had its own door, and it covered it full from up to down. Did each toilet door lol. I installed all of Warcraft 3 onto an iPod as an external hard drive and surreptitiously played during networking class for a year without the teacher noticing. Work. Steal a bunch of snacks from storage. Like a lot of them. What kind of snacks? Various kinds. Mostly chips and a lot of Coke. I came late, sneaked into the class, and on my spot without the teacher noticing. What about your attendance roll? It may just be in my school, but sometimes it can take like 15 minutes. To do attendance normally it's like 5, if it's a laid back teacher. On the last days of school, my friend had a bunny in his locker, which he fed grass to during lunch. Every popular girl in my class helped feed the bunny. My friend would have gotten away with it if it weren't for one of the girls who posted it on their story on Snapchat. The snap spread around the school pretty quickly and someone snitched on them. My friend didn't get in much trouble, only a call home, probably cause we live in Sweden and the maximum punishment is a week of suspension. Then what's the maximum punishment of other countries? In the US, you can be expelled for the entire year with an automatic repeat or even have the police involved. I helped the president of the student body, high school, leave without being caught because he came to school drunk. I put his arm over my shoulder and told the principal I was taking him home because he had the stomach flu. We had half a day and he had gone home and drank a bunch of wine. I picked him up after lunch to take him back to school so we could study for the app test. I didn't realize he was drunk until we got in the school and he said he had to bath, which he proceeded to do. The custodian came upon us and knew instantly by the smell it was alcohol. He went and got the principal and I just said my friend was sick and I would take him home. We never got in trouble and I think even if the custodian did say my friend had been drinking I doubt the principal would have believed him. This was a senior year and we both had been accepted to good universities. Just getting into the college spirit. Apostrophe. Smoked a cigarette out the bathroom window. VP walked in right after I put it out. We both smelled it. I guess he didn't wanna go through the paperwork though. Not the same exactly, but I smoked my bong in the bathroom during class, put it back in my locker, and returned to class super stoned. After the period ended, everyone was talking about how the entire 8th grade hallway smelled weird, and I was freaking out a bit with a bong hiding in my locker. Somehow didn't get caught, but decided not to do it again. I was in the 10th grade, 86, and thought it would be a good idea to take a 1/2 ounce bag of weed with me to school. I told a friend and we skipped a class and got really stoned. When the next class started we got busted for smelling and looking high, so we got sent to the principal's office. It was a big school, 3K kids, with a large bustling office and 6 principals and principals. My buddy was a known troublemaker and dressed like one too, so he got hauled into the office first while I was told to sit on the couch near the secretary's desk. I heard my friend getting searched and threats of police calling, so I acted like I was looking at a book while I pulled my bag and papers out of my pocket and hid them under the cushions of the couch. I was taken into the office next, searched but found nothing. Then my dad showed up to take me home, even though they had no proof. The next morning I walked into school and made a beeline toward the office. As I was walking up I saw an assistant principal walking out, so I went to the secretary and asked to see him. She said he just left. Sit on the couch and wait a few minutes for him to return. I sat on the couch, retrieved my weed, and slipped out when she wasn't looking. It was an extremely victorious day for a 10th grader. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.